So we're at the College of Idaho in Caldwell, and we're going to see if we can talk to some people, just have a conversation, or, I mean, if they knew Charlie Kirk, we'd like to get kind of their opinion or how the assassination affected them. So we're just going to have some conversations, hopefully carry on the legacy of Charlie Kirk. Excuse me.
Yeah.
We're with the For Charlie YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and we're just trying to talk to people about
Of course.
Charlie Kirk. Would you be
Yeah.
interested?
Yeah, of course. Let's talk about it.
Okay, awesome. Were you kind of following Charlie Kirk?
No, I mean, I just seen a lot of stuff on YouTube. It's kind of I actually asked my grandparents if they knew who Charlie Kirk was, and they don't. I feel like he's definitely more of a new age guy with influencers, social media giving rise to influencers and stuff like that. So I didn't personally follow him, but, I've heard about him before.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of a shock to find out he was assassinated. That as a public figure, not necessarily politician, but still heavily involved in that, it kind of shocked me, my family. This is not something I do normally. Like I don't go out and talk to people and get their opinion. But I was like, you know what? He's gone, and he stood for freedom of speech. And I was like, now it's kind of up to all of us, to kind of carry that on.
That's a great point. So I'm going to come out and say this outright too. Like I personally, a lot of the political beliefs he held and, just ideologies held, I didn't agree with, but I'm also very faithful. One thing that my faith is everything, guys. So him being courageous in his faith was something that I really admired about him. And no one should be condemned to death. I don't care what your ideologies are. You can't combat hate with hate. So I was sick. I was really sick to my stomach that whole day. I feel for his family, his 2 kids, his wife. Honestly, it's a dark time in America right now, for being completely honest, but all we can do is really be the light because, like you said, it's a war on our freedom of speech. Like that itself right there shows that. Again, I don't agree with the stuff he said, but that doesn't mean I don't think he should not have his freedom of speech. Like him being able to go out there and debate people and challenge them to think critically, that's special. And him getting shot in the neck for that is something that should never happen in this country. We claim to be a democracy, but at this point it's kind of like, you don't know. You really don't know.
And it's like, whether you're on the right or the left, you shouldn't be shooting each other. No. It's like, as soon as that starts happening, it's like we either keep the conversation going or we start fighting, right? And it's like, we need to keep the conversation going. That's what he stood for. He wasn't about violence. We need to make sure that, continues. And
I don't think violence has any place in a democracy, because the moment that you start perpetuating violence, especially something like this, gun violence, it kind of turns into a dictatorship, authoritarian regime, because it's like everyone gets silenced for what their beliefs and stuff. So it's a sad time in America. We pray for America. Again, all we can do is continue to show up and be lights in the world.
Well, same. So you're religious?
Yes, very religious.
Awesome. So am I. I think that was one of the things about him that kind of he was a genuinely good man. It's like again, it's just a blow. I don't even know how to process it necessarily.
Of course. And like I said, I honestly, I told you, I didn't agree with pretty much everything he said, but the one thing that I could admire about him was the fact that his belief. It was just him being able to go up there and, proclaim Christ as his Lord and Savior. That's awesome. That's what we need more of in this world. And it sucks, man. It sucks that he's gone, and you pray for everybody. There was a school shooting literally at the same time that was happening, so you literally couldn't, we had to cut one news media feed to the next because there's shootings going on simultaneously. It's just a dark world we live in. So
right. And I like what you said, we were praying for our country. Right,
for sure. Again, I don't know where to go from here. Again, you just continue to show up. It's kind of you ever heard this? I don't know if you guys listen to rap music and stuff. You guys rap music?
Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot? I'm a big Kendrick Lamar fan. Okay. And he mentioned something in this song called Feel, where he's like, it's an apocalypse and nothing's awkward. That's kind of how it feels right now. It's an apocalypse, and obviously you don't want to be consumed by the negativity in the world and the darkness, but at the same time, it's how can we not address this? A public figure, an influencer, just got executed on live TV, on YouTube, so I don't know. I just think we need to give rise to, actually have substantial conversations of substance that actually are going to get us somewhere versus just everyone's just kind of sitting back and like, just another public figure executed. And it's like, that's not normal, you know?
Right. And I really appreciate our conversation. You're the first person that's talked to us, so
awesome. Well,
appreciate it, man.
Yeah, my name's Zay, by the way.
Yep, Graham. It's good to meet you.
Brian, you said?
Graham.
Yep.
Mm.
Cameraman, I got another. Mason.
Yep.
Well, guys, continue to spread the word, be a light in the world, and hopefully you get more people that are able to have willing.
We will. Yeah.
Conversations like this. Again,
absolutely.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Take care.
Have a blessed day, y'all.
You too. Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we're with the For Charlie YouTube channel, and we're just seeing if people will talk to us about Charlie Kirk and kind of what he stood for and how you felt about what happened. And
I think it's an awful thing that happened. I think Charlie Kirk was one of the few right-wing people that was willing and open to step on the other side of the aisle and have honest and open dialogue, and for whatever, an evil person to kill him, I think it does a lot of harm to our country.
I totally agree, and it was a shock. I mean, if he stood for anything, it was open and civil, respectful conversations.
I think that's the last person enemies of the right should have chose to kill. Like, he wasn't a threat. I mean, if open dialogue's a threat, then we have a bigger problem in our country.
Right. Exactly.
Like Charlie, I mean, one thing he always said, ask him why he did it, and he said, I did it. I do this because when we have dialogue, we try to figure things out. As soon as the dialogue stops, the violence starts, and that's the person they kill. I mean,
exactly. That just proved his point.
Exactly.
And that's kind of why we're doing this. We're like, we don't want the conversation to stop. Like,
absolutely.
We want it to keep going because we don't want to have a complete collapse. We don't want to have violence.
I'm disgusted by the amount of people that got joy out of that. It just goes to show you, that we have a lot of evil people in this world, and all he tried to do was come at people with love and in dialogue, and like I said, I mean, they killed him for it.
It was a huge shock to my family, and we didn't even.
I was a very big Charlie Kirk fan.
Were you?
Yes.
Right. So you followed him for quite a while.
Yep. Turning Point USA, and I mean, his wife's right. I feel like them doing that, all they did is going to expand that, tenfold.
Yeah.
And good. It'll be good for our country.
Yeah. I 100% agree. And we're hoping to be on that train wagon. This is not something I do normally. This we started with if he's going to be gone.
I've seen people that don't normally have no social media presence, and if it gets, Charlie would have been happy if it got 5 people to do this, and there's thousands, if not millions, of people that are coming out in support of his movement, and it sucks it had to happen to him, but he left his mark on this, and I think it's going to be a lasting mark,
a real legacy that we hope to carry on. I mean, we have to. There's no, unless we want violence. It's like we've got to keep that legacy going.
Yeah. Yes.
I really appreciate you talking to us. Thank you very much.
much.
I'm Graham.
I'm Justin. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. Okay. Excuse me, guys. We're with the For Charlie YouTube channel, and we're just seeing if people will talk to us kind of about Charlie Kirk. And so, did you kind of follow him?
I did actually. So I moved here from Canada. I'm a dual citizen.
Okay, awesome. What part of Canada?
Manitoba. So
okay.
Very central, but I moved here and I grew up under the philosophy of not speaking about politics all that much. And it was just really looked down upon to really, I don't know, it wasn't spoken about much in my household growing up. But when I moved here, I obviously, I had to start learning and understanding some of these things. I had followed him closely last summer a lot. And from a more unbiased point of view, regardless, though, I really did like his philosophy with when it came to open mic and being comfortable to talk about these things.
Right. If it was anything he stood for, it was open dialogue, respectful open dialogue that was, a civil conversation with people, even if they disagreed, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's, to be honest, and I'm sure a lot of people agree, there's not everything I agreed with him on. There's probably some differences there, but at the end of the day, it was just that open dialogue that I really respect, and it did hit a little close to home when I saw that, because he is targeting our generation, colleges and stuff.
Well, it was a shock. It was devastating for me, for my family. And it's kind of the symbol that he stood for. It was like freedom of speech was literally attacked, right? I was having a conversation in the middle of a conversation and get shot in the neck, and if that's not a wake-up call, then I don't know what it is, right? It's like, I don't normally do this. This channel is brand new, but we're like, if he's gone, we want the conversation to keep going, because we don't want there to be more violence. We want people to argue it out and not have to fight it out. And
absolutely. There's regardless of the side, I think collectively, it doesn't matter where you are. I think we can all agree that, free speech should be hindered with violence. Hate speech, of course, shouldn't be tolerated. But in my opinion, I don't think any of that was hate speech. And
well, right, and who defines what hate is? That's the big question. Because some people are hateful in their speech.
Yes.
But it's like,
it's interpretation.
I'm more afraid of if the government's telling us who is being hateful and who's not, right? It's like we should be deciding among ourselves, really. We should be talking and deciding that.
Communication, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
We need that more.
Shouldn't be less, there should be more.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. Thank you for talking to us. I really appreciate
Pleasure.
it.
What's your name?
Graham.
Graham Keon.
Keon. It's good to meet you.
Good to meet you.